Hey guys, so sorry about the total lack of any videos for the past week or so. I've just been struck down with a severe case of man flu, but I'm slowly nursing myself back to health. I don't know if you've tried riding with a cold, but it's a bitch, especially when you have a runny nose, because no, you just make a mess in your helmet. It's nasty. But anyway, while I've been nestled away in bed, I've had quite a lot of time to think about... Is this a 30? Quite a lot of time to think about a problem that I've sort of been debating, and that's my license. You see, I have a CBT, and for those of you who don't know what that means, it's something in the UK which you can take. It's only a day-long course. It's £100 or so. And what it means is you can ride up to a 125cc. You can't take any passengers, you can't go on motorways, you have to have L plates on your bike, and you have to retake it every 2 years. So it really is designed as something that you step up. So you take your CBT and they expect you to step up to a full test after 2 years if you're serious about riding. Quite a lot of delivery people though will just take it and redo it every couple of years. But my problem is, I took this when I was 16, I think about 6 months after I turned 16. And the issue is, I can't take any sort of full test until I turn 19. That's when I can take my A2, which limits you to a 600cc bike. You can take passengers, you can go on the motorways, you can do all that kind of stuff. But my problem with that is my CBT expires when I'm about 18 and a half. So I'm going to have a 6-month period where if I want to ride, I'm going to have to take some kind of test. Now, I always assume that, I'll just have to retake my CBT, but it's actually another option which no one usually takes, or no one usually does. It's an A1 test, which what that lets you do is it still only lets you ride up to a 125cc, but it lets you ride one with no learner plates. It lets you take a pillion, lets you go on motorways, and it also means that you don't have to take it every 2 years. Once you've got it, you've got it. Also, another advantage of it is it will take your insurance prices down a little bit, which, when you're me, and you live in London, and you're young, is really fucking handy. Every penny counts on insurance when you're paying fucking, like, £1,000 and a bit a year for it. And that's third-party fire and theft, not even fully comp. It's ludicrous. So, I'm actually considering taking... Stay there, fuckfaces. I'm actually considering taking my A1 test, because what that will let me do is step up to my A2. I won't actually have to do a Mod 1 and... Oh my god. Learners are so slow. We're in a 30, love. I'm actually going to stick with this, because I wanted to talk about this. Or I have something that ties into this in a minute. But anyway, my A1, I'm thinking of taking it because what that lets me do is stick with it, not have to take a CBT again. Just step straight up to my A2 when I turn 19. It will take down my insurance price. And it sounds like a good choice. The only problem with it is it's expensive to do tests. And the only way I can make it financially viable is if I drive the price right down to the same sort of level as a CBT. And the only way of doing that, you don't need to panic, it's a coach. The only way of doing that is by not taking any of the training with it. And I'm umming and ahhing about this, because if I don't take any of the training, all I need to do is the theory test, which is about for £25, and my Mod 2. See, I don't need to do a Mod 1 because I've got my CBT. That counts as a Mod 1. And so I just do my Mod 2, which is £85, so it comes out £100, same price as a CBT, and that just gives me a license. And that would be absolutely great. And I know that I can drive a 125cc. Here I am, driving a 125cc. The only problem is, when you're on your test isn't to drive a 125cc. Your test is to drive stupidly safely while doing this every 30 seconds. Check my mirrors, shoulder check, Shoulder check. That's what that's what being on a test is like. It's like, hold on to your bars. Don't touch your brake. No, don't cover the brake. Oh, make sure you're in the right gear. You know, all of that kind of bullshit. There he goes, overtaking. Blooming hell, you're putting out some fumes, buddy. And yeah, so I don't know if I can do that without the training. See, that's the only point of the training. The training isn't to teach you how to ride a bike. It's to teach you how to satisfy these examiners. Oh, you can make it. So yeah, I'm umming and ahhing about that at the moment. If I can pass it first time, that's it. That's it paid for itself. But if I fail it, that's 75 quid down the drain. So I don't know. Also, another thing that I wanted to talk about, and the reason that I've stuck behind this learner, is, as you might have heard me say in my first video, if you've been here since then, I don't display a front L plate, as you can see. And the reason for that is because it looks stupid on this bike. There's nowhere to put a proper front L plate that meets the legal requirements of an L plate. But also because there's such a bad stigma to L plates. Like, when you're driving around with an L plate, people will treat you differently. It's weird. I do display a rear L plate. Fuck you, dickhead. Yeah, I do display a rear L plate because that's the law. I've got to have L plates. It's the law that I have a front one, but I could probably get away with that. Just claim it fell off or something. And my problem with L plates, though, and also one of the reasons I want to take this A1 test so that I can ride without them, is that they have such a bad stigma. Riding as a learner, people think that they can just push you around on the road, that people think that you don't know how to drive. And my question to everyone here is whether I should be associated with someone like this, who is actually learning how to drive, which is fair enough, but they're slow, they don't know what they're doing. Like, I'm not this person. I have about 3,000 miles under my belt as a driver. Like, I can drive. And so, is it fair that I have to display L plates after taking a CBT when doing it has such a stigma attached to it? You get people who just repeat their CBTs to the point where they've been driving for like 10 years, and they're still having to drive with L plates. It's just not on. I think an L plate should only be required when you're under an instruction. So, when you're doing a driving test or a driving lesson, or when you're actually doing your course or your CBT. That's the only time when you should have to display an L plate. If you have passed something that has said that you're allowed to ride or drive on the roads, then you should be allowed to go on the roads, because what is this now? We're doing 19 in, I think, a 30, probably a 30. Even if it wasn't a 30, no one obeys 20-mile-an-hour speed limits. I'm actually a bit freaked out because that person in front of this L plate driver is also going weirdly slow. Bit odd. But yeah, there's so much stigma attached to L plates. Should we, as people on CBTs, who have quite a lot of riding experience, have to have that association? Because it's just not fair. Anyway, tell me your opinion down below, because I really want to hear it. Because I just don't see why people who could have been riding for years should have to have an L plate on. Oh god, now there's two of them. Oh, you didn't stop. Okay. Right. You're a bad learner. You're a very bad learner. I don't even know if you meant to stop or not. I stop to let people go because it's like, you know, just being kind. Especially when you're on a bike, you can make up the distance pretty quickly. Anyway, that's my humble opinion. Feel free to let me know what you think down below. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Moho594. Please remember to like the video, dislike it if you didn't like it. Just really helps. Really appreciate a sub if you want to, but only if you want to. Maybe share this video, I don't know, let people know about my existence, because starting a YouTube channel is a bit hard. And nevertheless, take it easy. I'll see you around. Hell yeah!